Hello, hello, hello. Susan Axelrod here with your Facebook Live at 5 broadcast. I'm laughing because I just went on and I realized I don't know where my phone is. It's over there. And usually I try to remember to turn it down because I'm so popular, it rings every now and then. So I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear my phone ringing over there. I totally forgot to turn it off. Hi, Sarah. How was your day? How was your day over in Ireland? I know it's the end of your day. Thank you for joining. And Judy's here. Hi, Judy, my favorite fan. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. Lisa McCrory Hall is here, the person who requested the topic of this Facebook Live at 5. I have been learning and growing how to do these best broadcasts, and I've been watching a lot of other great people. So there's one thing I learned, and that is some people spend a minute or two to let other people get onto the broadcast. So some people pick cards and they read all kinds of things, but I decided to just start the broadcast while we're waiting for a few others to join us with a success quote from my fave. Can you see it? Who's that? John Maxwell. So one day I was years ago, many years ago, I was in an airport, I guess, looking at a bookstore, and I saw this book and I intended to give it to one of my daughters, I'm sure, and I never did. And you can see there's Post-its and there's pages to turn down and marked in it. So I use it all the time. So I decided that I'm going to share some success quotes with you during my Live at 5 broadcasts. So Naham is here. Hi there. Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly. Oh, I know this is going to be a good topic for you today. So very quickly, the quote that I'm sharing is the very first one. I opened it up and I said, this is the quote I'm sharing today. Here's the quote from John Maxwell, which I will also put into the comment lines. I forgot to do that. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. And I've got to tell you, that quote applies to me in spades. The power of learning the daily routine and creating the good habits. I've talked about them, especially in your waking routine, right? When you first wake up in the morning, creating these powerful, inspirational habits, and also in the sleeping routine, in the routine that you have where you're going to sleep. So important to have powerful daily habits. So thank you for joining me, everyone. Thank you for participating. I'm so happy to have you here. This topic was by special request on juggling multiple projects. Now, I looked at the two different places where this person asked for this topic, and I noticed something, and that is this. It wasn't juggling multiple priorities. It was juggling multiple projects. So that in and of itself, friend, you know who I'm speaking to, is very important. The place that I always get to is wanting to feel in a more calm space. As you know, that's how my own journey has evolved, and that's the work that I do. It's to help people really get into a more calm space. So I want to ask you right now to take a moment to think about the many things that you have going on in your life. Now, some of you are working, some of you are retired. I put retired in quotation marks because you're working more than ever. Some of you have children at home, some of you don't. Everybody has their own personal stuff going on. So just take a moment to kind of allow your mind to think about all these multiple things that you have going on. And I'll do the same because I have multiple things going on myself. You can feel how that feels, right? You can feel how it feels to have to think about all those many multiple things going on. It feels, well, you can type in the chat box and let me know. How does it feel to you when you think about all these different things going on in your life? I'm sort of like they're coming in, coming in, coming in. They're like washing over us. So while you may decide to share how that feels with you, I know how it feels for me. It feels, my word is chaotic, or I use the word chaosy, like it feels chaosy. It feels like not clear, it feels like chaos to me. Like I don't want to be in that place anymore. I want to be in a clear space where I can breathe, right? So the bottom line is this. I'm going to say it quickly. I'm just at the 5-minute point. And as I mentioned the other day, I've learned that some people don't like my 20-minute mini workshops. Some people are in and done. So right now, I'm going to say to you, the important thing here is the mindset with which you approach these many multiple projects. I'm going to remind you of my golden rule, Susan's golden rule. Can you see it? Get okay with being okay. Get okay with being okay. So it took me years of my own personal experience of being completely overwhelmed, struggling with resulting anxiety, struggling then further with resulting depression, and always being busy all the time, no time, no time, no time, always being busy. It took me working through all of that to get to a place where I can say right now, I'm busy and I love it. So to the person who requested this broadcast, I want to say, you think about that statement. I have all these things I want to do. All of them speak to me. All of them are interesting to me. All of them excite me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on my to-do list, right? And I want to ask you and anybody else who's listening live or on replay, if you can get okay with loving all the stuff you have going on. It's an interesting outlook, isn't it? It's a healthier outlook. I love being busy. I'm not good when I don't have a lot going on. I get bored and I just want to do things actively to inspire people and to motivate people, or to be inspired or motivated myself. Now, as you know, I have tried to build fitness activity into my day. And so that's another thing that's kind of on my list all the time now. I've got the dogs. I really have to do that, right? But I just want to invite you to join me in loving being busy. It's perfectly okay. Some of you, I don't know if she's on right now. One of my clients is an executive director of an agency, busy all the time, doing such important work. Great. Wonderful. It's okay to be busy. So that is the mindset that I want to encourage you to consider. What if positive? What if you just get okay with being busy and having a lot of cool, awesome, fun, motivating stuff to keep you busy? Can you feel that shift? Can you feel that transformation? Can you feel that total different way to approach the idea of juggling multiple projects? It's fine. Go ahead and juggle. That's a skill too. I really wanted to share this different mindset. I'm going to talk about things. Yes, Lisa says, that's a really good point. And then Kelly says, I have never been bored because I'm always planning and thinking about and making lists. Wonderful. Kelly, the work that you're doing is changing lives, maybe even saving lives. Good. Be busy. Stick with it. Keep at it. Do more. I'm okay with that. So Lisa, yes, it's a good point. All the stuff that you're doing is fun. Maybe, I guess, I don't know exactly, but if the stuff that you're doing is fun, interesting, inspiring, motivating, making impact, If it feels important to you, then get okay with it. So that's the mindset transformation I wanted to share with you at the start. Now, having said that, if you think about all these things and you feel anxious, overwhelm, or chaos, as in my case, if your shoulders begin to go like down and in, you know how I do that, instead of like, oh, this is fun, what more can I do right now, right? If you begin to feel feelings on the negative side of the feeling scale because of all the stuff you have to do, then I want to encourage you to visit those things. Now, look, I share and coach from my own experience. This is real life revealed, real life revealed. I lived my life like that. I was in the have to, should all the time. Constantly, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do the other thing. I never spent a moment of time coming to awareness and evaluating that which I was doing, because I was in rote, that's ROTE, in rote habit of doing, keeping busy, busy, busy. B, I was in denial of the stuff that was going on underneath the feelings. You can't see my hand, but the feelings going on down here, right? In the feelings of what I was feeling underneath it all, I was in denial of that. And C, I was getting good like feedback and external validation. And external validation is the best, especially when you're suffering from low self-internal evaluation. So I want to encourage you to look at all of these multiple projects, these many things that you're doing. And I want to really, in this moment, urge you to think deeply about the different things that you want to do. Of these things that you're doing, which ones do you want? Which ones do you really, really want? And which ones are you doing because you think you have to or you think you should? Now, I know what it's like to think that you have to or think that you should. I'm okay with stepping into that. Go ahead, do some of the things that you have to do. I'm not saying don't do those things. No, that's just completely not realistic. You have to take care of the kids. You have to walk the dog. You have to clean. You have to cook. You have to, get the report done. You have to support your superior or your, the people you supervise. There's a lot of things you have to do. I just want to help you think about these things in a different way. First of all, think about them. Secondly, find out how they serve you. Figure out how they serve you. If you're spending extra time supporting the person you're supposed to be reporting to, how does that serve you? Well, maybe it makes your own life easier. Maybe it makes the life of your supervisees easier, or some colleague, or maybe the productivity for all of us rises if I do that. If I'm doing that, even if I'm supporting somebody else's deficit, maybe I could be okay with that, because there's a bigger picture reason that I'm doing this. Do you understand? This is so important. Wow, I totally am feeling emotional. So it's from my own emotion. I could feel it's like welling up in me. It's from my own emotion of never knowing this. Nobody ever told me it this way before. And then B, maybe it's one of you or many of you having this realization of the beauty of getting clear on these things that you're doing. I lived such a life of doing things that I felt I had to do. It was in later years, my recent years, as I matured in my thinking and as I deepened my desire to live in a easier, more clear way, that I started saying, I don't really have to do that thing. That thing that I thought I had to do, to the good girl thing, the being the good girl, I am the good girl thing. I don't have to do that. And then I got scared, like, I said that? Did I say that? And as I began to work with this whole idea, I could answer myself, yes, I did say that. So what happens if I don't do that? Okay, explore it. What happens if I continue to do it? What happens if I get okay with continuing to do it? For me, it's kind of cleaning. I kind of gave it up. And my husband's still married to me, I mean, the world didn't stop because I stopped doing something that I hate. So the house is messy sometimes. That's just a kind of frivolous example. But there's lots of other things that I stopped doing because I thought I should be doing them or I had to be doing them. So Kelly is saying, yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Yes. So Kelly said, I always think of saying intentional and deliberate. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. When I reviewed the lists of things that I was doing, and I realized how much of it was not intentional for me to be living life as I want it to be. It was not deliberate. It was just rote, response, external. When I went in, and down and asked myself, what do I really want? For example, some people, they just want a clean house. So go ahead, clean from top to bottom, even if it's additional, even if it's another thing that you have to do, another thing on your list. If it serves you in your life, your best life, go ahead, do it. With regard to things that you're choosing, the person who was asking me this question has a lot of things she just wants to do. With regard to having a lot of things that you want to do, I want to encourage you to apply the same idea. Of all those things, what do you really want to do? What do you really, really want to do? And why? Explore them. And then maybe the idea of, well, I don't have to do it all now can apply to you. That's another technique that I have used that has changed my life completely. I didn't have to be all things to all people all at that time and all at once. I started saying, well, what if I don't do that now? What if I do that later? And by the way, that was volunteer work for me. Even though under my mother's tutelage of being a premier community volunteer, it was something that I was very committed to and deeply wanted to do. I just had to let go of some of that stuff for a while because I honestly couldn't do it anymore. But as I came to my conscious awareness, right, phase one in living life as you want it to be, as I came to conscious awareness of that which I really wanted to do, I wanted to be calm and happy with my family, not to be a happier person from the facade of what other people saw when I was volunteering and appearing to be so happy. Do you get it? Do you get what I'm talking about here? I'm aware that I only have a few more minutes. This is such a big topic, but I just wanted to really teach you this mindset transformation. Now, I did request and get a couple of juggling hacks, and I do want to share them with you, and I want to thank the people who responded. If there's one person who knows about juggling, it's Jen Lederer from Jen Lederer Productions. She's the master mogul. I joined her membership group. I've learned so much from her. She does so much. She supports so many people. And one of the things that she said was, stop obsessing over how many different projects you have going on and commit your energy to one at a time within your day or your week. So for me, that's my book, my next book. That's it. That's all I'm doing. That's what I'm working on and focusing on. That's an example of this that week. So thank you, Jen, for that. She also says, know your priorities. Know your priorities and then give your undivided attention, breath, and there's the word, Kelly, intention. Even if it's only for 5 minutes. 5 uninterrupted minutes. And that's actually what Nicole Hernandez said from the Daring Kind podcast. Nicole said, I set my timer for 10 to 20 minutes to get things done. I love that. And she also is big on using Trello, which I also use to create bite-sized tasks and also creating deadlines. What's Lisa saying? I'm reminded of years ago when I joined a bunch of clubs, Rotary, etc., because I thought it would look good in my obituary. Oh my God, I thought you were going to say on your resume. Oh my gosh, Lisa, very glad that you got off the clubs just so you didn't worry about your obituary. And the last one I wanted to share is my friend Sarah Sussman from Ireland, who is the founder of the Jewish Business in Women in Business Network and Judaica in the Spotlight, an entire new website that she's doing. And she's got this whole big marketing business that she does as her primary work. And so she said, well, I'm married to a business consultant. So she's got some inside, she's got an inside gig going on there. But what did she say? He helped me put a proper plan together. It's pretty much time management 101. But this is the thing that I want to leave you with. Whether you are juggling multiple projects or multiple priorities, whether they're things that you want to be doing or feel you have to do, which you do have to do in life, I get that. I am a big advocate of a plan. And there's someone on here, my good friend Nechama, who actually made a plan for her daughter's wedding. She used one of my tools, the program strategy, and she made a plan for something personal. And it worked. It was awesome. And so I'm not going to get into the whole detail of planning now, but I did just want to remind you that planning is the key. When you wake up in the morning, you have the opportunity to, kind of chunk down your day and, create plan pieces in your mind. And as you're going through your day, be intentional. Ask yourself, am I focusing on that which I want? Maybe you could say need to get done now, right? But that goes back to my original mindset reframe about managing multiple projects, which is, are you focusing on what you really want to do? And if you are, great, it's okay. Just get okay with being busy. And if you're not okay, that's when we want to begin to research and apply some of these other planning techniques. So my 20 minutes is up. I went over my 20 minutes in my 20-minute mini workshop. So I apologize for going over. I want to ask you to let me know if this was helpful for you. I want to ask you to let me know, do you get what I'm saying about the mindset reframe? On get okay with being busy. It's awesome to be busy. And you can share that with me in the comment lines. Okay, tomorrow for my Facebook Live at 5, I'm going to be repeating the 20-minute retreat. I got good feedback on that, and I just felt like it would be a good thing to do tomorrow. A lot of people have a lot on their minds, and the agenda is going to be the same. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to breathe and stretch and write and talk a little bit. And then I will end with a guided meditation. Okay, that's all. Break. I got to go. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Have a good evening. Bye.